Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here. And we're lending Zelda power for one more showdown. And it's horseback battle. I'll try and slow Ganondorf with my light arrows. You target him and keep him within range of my arrows. Easier said than done. Whoa, there. Ow. Okay, that's not how we want to go about things. Once you target him... Ow. I like how Ganondorf just kind of waits for you to get back on your horse. Oh, come on, Zelda, hit him. Oh, those evil spirits that he summons. This is, in my opinion, the hardest part of this battle to deal with. Especially when you're constantly taking damage. Where is he at? Come on, Zelda. Yes, that was a straightaway. That's the general idea. Is to target him. And then when he's stunned, hit him with the Master Sword. And if you can get him going on that... Oh, Zelda, you missed. I don't like that attack. There we go. Yeah, once you hit him the first time, it becomes really easier because you're like right on his tail. And that's the best advice I have for that fight, is to just keep on his tail, keep it so Zelda has a straight shot, and then she can hit him. An impressive-looking blade, but nothing more. Would you hear my desire? To take this foul blade and use it to blot out... I couldn't read that fast enough. I'm guessing the light forever? Ah, that's not fair. I don't have sword techniques. This is the part, Dark Lord Ganondorf. This is the part where you want to be using sword techniques. Because we have to do a sword fight with him. Okay, so that's not going to work. I hit him. Somehow. Yeah, the shield bash, the helm splitter, the rolling slash, all very good techniques here. All things that we don't have. And they do have 3 hearts. Ooh. Okay, so when he does that... Let me go pick up some hearts there, Ganondorf. You don't mind, do ya? That's not working either. Ouch. Wait a minute. Did you just break part of that wall? That gives me an idea. Oh. I think I'm out of other pickups. I need to find something that works on him. I need to do that pretty soon, though. A shield would also be nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this battle's designed so that other items do not work. Let's see. Yeah, none of this is going to do anything. Hey, you can blow his cape around. Okay. Whoa. You were supposed to be going the other way. Got a few hits off of him. Oh. Okay. Well, this is almost the end here. Well, Ganondorf wins this round. Yeah, we're gonna retry that. I'll show you guys the winning fight. Oh, we get to restart here. And I know one of these is a fairy, but I don't know which one. Alright, I did get damage on him before. I just need to find a consistent way of doing it. Ow. Well, hitting that is not going to be helpful. Oh. Well, that's neat. We got a quick time battle. I forgot about this one. That was cool. Let's do that again. I can beat you if you're doing that. Gotta hit. I think it's the kind of the same strategy we used for the Iron Knuckles. Just run around him and hit him from behind. But this one, maybe not just wildly swing the sword. And then see, he went for that kick there. That kick, when he does that kick, that's a good time to hit him. Oh, I could have done that sword struggle again. And we can do this again. Because this is a really cool scene. And then you get that remix of that type of music. Come on, you want to do that again? Okay. He's just standing there watching us. Ow. Hey. That was the kick. You're supposed to let me hit you after that. Hey. Knock it off. I don't know what happened there. I missed the timing on that. Hi. Okay, I'm gonna go get some parts. Ow. I didn't quite want that. Did get a hit off from there. There we go. Well, this is a tough battle for Minimalist, but it probably should be. I mean, it's not like the Ocarina of Time where it's a one-hit KO sort of thing. It's just a lot of fancy swordsmanship skills. There's that kick. Well, let me get a few shots in. there's that kick again. How many shots does this guy take? Spin attacks. It's not like some of the other enemies where you can knock them off their guard. This is the Dark Lord Ganondorf, after all. The epic stare down. Ow. Well, that's not a staring contest that I'm going to win, so... Hey. Finish! Yeah, his exposed weak spot lines up nicely with our finishing blow technique. That's gotta hurt. So yeah, that was just attempt number 2. You can't be standing. You have the Master Sword going through your stomach and out the other side. Do not think this ends here. The history of light and shadow will be written in blood. Your Triforce of Power just kinda went out on you. Well, that means you are dead. You are not coming back from that. Don't even try to. Well, that was interesting. And there's the 4 light spirits. On one hand, this scene looks really cool. On the other, I still can't figure out what those things are. Especially when they're all bunched together like that. And... is it? It is! It's Midna! Yay! She's alive! And she's back in her normal form. What? Say something. Am I so beautiful that you've no words left? When has Link ever said something? Come on, Midna. And that concludes Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess Minimalist Run. Whew. Overall, I mean, we did get game overs in all the spots I basically expected to get game overs at. So I'm not too upset about any of those. Maybe the first one, that was kind of silly with the lava. But, yeah, overall I felt it was fairly easy for a minimalist run. Probably a bit easier than the Ocarina of Time. Of course, Ocarina of Time, I had at least a dozen attempts on the final battle. It only took me 2 here, so make of that what you will. Overall, I really like Twilight Princess as a game. As you've seen, there's a pretty big world to explore. I shouldn't use too many words like massive, because I know the phrase massive overworld is used a lot nowadays, or massive free roaming game. And that describes more of Breath of the Wild. But there's still a lot of things to do, a lot of things to collect. And so, yeah, if we were to go around and collect all of those things, you could probably double the length of this Let's Play to show off all of that. There's just a ton of things to do, ton of little things that require different items to unlock, or mini games, whatnot. But it's a very enjoyable quest, very rewarding. I thought it had a good amount of dungeons, and I didn't really mind most of the time in between the dungeons. A couple things got a little bit monotonous, like when you go and get all those owl statues and so forth. But it's not like, I guess comparison would be Skyward Sword, which would have basically like an overworld dungeon as in order to get to the main dungeon. Yeah, you're solving puzzles and defeating stuff and then pushing blocks to unlock more of the path, and then you unlock shortcuts so you don't have to do that all over again. And I don't know, that just really annoyed me. I'm glad we didn't have an overworld like that. I like the stuff that we did do in the overworld. I felt that I would have liked to have seen the horseback fighting more in play at certain points. I mean, you had a couple segments where you were helping the kids, and then the one where you're protecting the wagon. I would have liked more than that before the Ganondorf fight there. But I did like the incorporation of the horseback battling into that segment of the battle. So yeah, 4 phases to the final boss. I liked it. I love the music in this game. Yeah, I like most of the new items that were introduced. I know a lot of people don't really like the ball and chain or the fidget spinner. I mean, the spinner, yeah, it has limited uses. It would have been nice if there were more uses for those items outside of just solving puzzles with them. But, you get what you get, I guess. How much, like, where would they put more things to do with the spinner, really? Think about it. I mean, if they put more stuff, there's already a few places on the overworld, but if they put more, then that's just more stuff that's locked away until you find the spinner, and then when you do, you're solving it all the same anyways. So yeah, I love the different environments we go to as well. You know, you have the forest area, you have Snow Peak, you have some really unique dungeons and dungeon gimmicks. And as I've said before, the dungeons are my favorite parts of these Zelda games. So yeah, this had a good number of them, pretty good length for them, pretty unique mechanics within most of them. Especially my favorites being the Temple of Time, the Forest Temple, and the Arbiter's Grounds. Not necessarily in that order, but yeah. Graphics, you could complain that it's not, perfectly smooth like the graphics on the, newer consoles, but I always felt the graphics for Twilight Princess were really good. Then again, if you ask me, I think the graphics of almost everything from the GameCube era of games had pretty decent graphics. I mean, yeah, you had some oddball games that were bad, but and anything past that is just spectacular. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about the graphics. Gameplay, I really like the sword skills too, even though we didn't get any additional ones. I like how there's a lot of other things you can do in this game. And even though it was minimalist, there were still a lot of things that we had to do in order to advance the plot and move forward. And I like that. I like that it wasn't just as much just dungeon hopping as, say, Ocarina of Time, where all you really have to do is travel to the new location and there's the dungeon, but you actually had other things to do and complete before you could get to the next dungeon. Well, I guess this is farewell, huh? Light and shadow can't mix, as we all know, but never forget that there's another world bound to this one. Shadow and light are two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist without the other. I know now the reason the goddesses left the Mirror of Twilight in this world. They left it because it was their design that we should meet. Yes, that is what I believe. That phrase just kind of makes it sound like you just invented that belief, and then you're like, yeah, that sounds good, we'll go with that. And that's just a weird phrasing to me. Zelda, your words are kind, and your heart is true. If all in Hyrule are like you, then maybe you'll do all right. So Midna's going to use the Mirror of Twilight to go back to her realm. Thank you. Well, the princess spoke truly. As long as that mirror's around, we could meet again. Link. I see you later. You're gonna destroy that mirror, aren't you? Well, we gotta make sure we don't have to address the existence of not having a Twilight Realm in any other Zelda game. Well, she holds the true power to destroy the mirror now. So yeah, this game is a little bit lengthy, especially if you're collecting stuff. Maybe a little bit too lengthy for my taste. Maybe that's why I don't play it as often as other games in the series. But still very enjoyable in my view. I had fun doing this Let's Play. I hope you guys had fun here as well. And so now, yeah, I don't have much else to say regarding this game. I think we've discussed everything by this point. The next Zelda game you can expect on this channel would be Wind Waker, and I'll try a minimalist run with that. Although that's going to be really interesting because, well, let me summarize how much I remember about Wind Waker. I remember what the first dungeon looks like. I remember the item we get. I kind of remember the boss. The second dungeon, I can't tell you anything about. I don't know where it's located. I don't know where the first one's located. Don't know where the second one's located. Don't know what item you get. Don't even remember what the boss looks like. I'm sure I will once I get into the game and start playing the dungeon again. But then, so you have those two main dungeons, and then you'll have some middle stuff and some other sort of dungeons, but not really. I don't think they have real bosses in them. And then you'll have two more sort of main dungeons. That's one of the things I didn't like about Wind Waker. And I remember those two later dungeons. I believe it's the Wind Dungeon and the Earth Dungeon are their names. Maybe they're not their names, but those were the themes. I remember the items you get from them. And I remember one of the two bosses from that. I don't remember which one goes with which dungeon, though. So I remember one of the bosses, not sure which dungeon it's in. And I remember a few other things. There's one mini game though in that in Wind Waker that we're going to check out for sure, because there's a really goofy character, and he makes me laugh. He's just kind of well, you'll see when we get there. I don't remember if the mini game is optional or not, because part of me thinks it might not be. In which case, you definitely get to see it even on a minimalist run. And I do remember a few other specific moments from Wind Waker that really stand out in my mind. Not going to spoil too much of those right now, but I do remember the final battle and where that takes place, and I remember picking up the Master Sword and what happens right after you get it. So yeah, I remember those things, but well, that's the end for Twilight Princess, but I did promise you guys we would have a bonus video at the end of this, so we can't skip this. So I'll see you guys next time. We're going to do the side quest and maybe a little something else, so stay tuned for that.